matchup on tap between the Detroit Lions and the Cincinnati Bengals. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. In motion left goes a tight end. They'll start on the ground here on first down. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play call to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
Sometimes that's a danger putting that jumbo set out there. You just get a lot of bodies massed in one location. You can wind up with 18, 20, maybe even all 22 in the box. And there's nowhere to run the football.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Shotgun now for Lance. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Lance looking to throw it. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Lance going to throw. And that is incomplete. And the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Herbert off of play action. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He rifles one, and it's going to be intercepted. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on one throw.
Lance now on first down. This is caught by Williams. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Okay, break.
On play action, Lance. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. This will be taken at the 10. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards that time, and a Cincinnati first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And some space here. And into the end zone, a scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one, they've got to take care of business first.
And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front, so when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And taken right at the 35. A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Play action. Now it's Lance. Steps away to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes, because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
Ready up. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And they fake the handoff. Now Lance. He's airing it out for Williams. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game. They always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does.
Jeff Fox to kick off the Lions.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, you know, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done, because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 14 yards that time and a first down on the keeper.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Mixon running right. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. They'll try the air now with Herbert. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. So they still get the completion even though the blitz was on. But the blitz got there. Does that stay in the mind of the quarterback for the next couple plays?
That's what you're hoping for. That's what you're planning for. It's a little risk reward, right? You're leaving your guys on an island back there in man coverage. But you take the chance that you get to the quarterback, and so he gets completion here. Congratulations. Keep coming at him, and hopefully it pays off by the end of the game that you're starting to get to him while still able to cover on the back end.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Got a man, it's Chase, he completes it. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 19. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Mixon. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Evan McPherson before the Bengals field goal. 29 yards attempt.
And that hits off the left upright, and it caroms away, no good. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game. So we would have figured that one to be 3 points in the bank, but this game, you know, it can be unpredictable at times.
Yeah, he knew he needed to pull it ever so slightly to get it going in the right direction, but he seemed to put a little too much on it, and from short range, that is a bad miss for an NFL kicker.
Off of play action, here's Lance. Being chased out left. Now he'll throw deep left side. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off. And Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Bengals are back within a score. Footing always a concern, but the extra points have been good. And that'll make our score 14-7. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. This offense returning out there, and really you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays, make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well. Especially the quarterback.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Bengals grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys have to touch the ball and carry it. They're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our...
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Lions are going to take over here up near the 40.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid him, picking up a first down.
Now a play fake. Lance. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Down right around the 25. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Lance. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Down inside the 10, and that's a touchdown, but hold on, there is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now here's a handoff out of the gun. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Here's Lance to throw it. He's got this complete to Williams. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did. for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball in his hands.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, second down. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They go option right on second and goal. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
This will be play number 8 on the drive. It's third and goal. Here's Lance. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Bengals will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Take it in at the 3. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
3 yards remain for second down. Once again, they run with Mixon. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on third down. The catch made by Johnson. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play. That time the conversion comes courtesy of the RPO.
And know what it did? It moved the sticks. Nice pickup on third down. Even better decision.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Mixing up the middle. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. They'll send the tight end in motion. Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Now Lance throws the interception, his 3rd. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for Bengals TD. Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick 6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal? In the case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. We saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
He's airing it out for Williams. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
A good pickup there, 21 yards. Herbert on first down now. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Aiden Hutchinson, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And that's his 2nd sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And, partner, it's still just the 3rd quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet. Even if he's not getting a sack, He's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. He's going to take another shot here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
He's got the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more. But this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Flushed out right. And now here's another interception. Picked by Logan Wilson. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Lions are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I don't know if careless is the right word there, but bottom line, here in the fourth quarter, tie game, you can't do that.
You sure can, Brandon, and not only do you give up the lead, now you've got to turn around, punt it away from your own 20 as well. So it's really a double whammy with time starting to become a factor.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Another important fourth quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 77 yards rushing here from Mixon. He's got a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, They've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks.
That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Deontay Johnson, 52 yards. And the Bengals use the big play to extend their fourth quarter lead. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on, so they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And we got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Working from the gun, Lance. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Martin, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag. On the double.
Desperation time here. Lance. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. Little choice, Charles, but to go for it right there. And that pick 6 will be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you don't know how many more possessions you're going to get. So really, you're almost at the point of no option. Have to go for it. Bottom line, though, is defenders know that as well. They know you've got to throw the football. Had the right defense call, it will make a nice play on the ball, and that's all she wrote.
Extra play by McPherson. Good. And that could be important. That makes this a 16-point lead. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. We'll see if they can band back together after the pick 6. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A 2-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
To throw again on 2nd down. Lance. He's airing it out for Williams. It got his man complete. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver. And as this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On 1st down, Lance. And now here's another interception. Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. And I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And he's got some space here. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bengals look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Okay, Frank.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Lance. He's airing it out for Williams. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Throwing on 1st down is Lance. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game, but in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Lions are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. So it's a pretty good season he's putting together running the football. That now 10 rushing touchdowns on the year.
And we know this is a passing league, and those numbers throwing the football, they seem to go up and up every year. But there's still something to have a reliable back you can count on in the red zone to bring things home for you. And that's what he's been doing all season long.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is now 24. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this was pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It's another first down on a big gainer there, 33 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance. That pass caught. It's Williams. And he's down into the red zone at the 15 after a gain of 15. 1st and 10.
A gain of 15. First down, Lions.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Looking for Hawkinson, and he's got him. Touchdown, Detroit. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions are able to cut into that deficit. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Lance going to try to throw for this. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is.
Well, they tried to get 2. And ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. This is taken just shy of the 10.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard. But they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. The Bengals bring out their punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
Here we go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, this game has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace. And it'll be intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here and maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
The Bengals go down to a knee in the victory formation. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Herbert to a knee, and that should just about write it into this one.